welcome back to Total Spotfest. That's Jamie Faulkner. I'm JJ Brownlee. We're coming back at you here again. We're gearing up for the holidays here. A lot of stuff going on. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you for listening. We do appreciate you. I tried to mix it up just enough to throw you off there. I see what you're doing over there, Jamie. Trying to mimic me. You know, hey, this is consistency once again. No.
I appreciate commitment to a bit.
If you don't know Jamie, he is committed to the bit. That is his. That could be tattooed. That could be like etched on his gravestone whenever that day comes way down the road. Here lies Jamie Faulkner. You know, 1980 to 20 whatever. You know, this and that. The beloved father, husband. He was committed to the bit.
Damn Skippy.
But no, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for those of you who are watching us on Spotify. Like I said last week, we mixed up the hosting for our audio versions. With that, we're now or maybe I just didn't know before, but yeah, we're now doing our video, not just on YouTube, but also video podcast on Spotify. If you're not watching us, you're listening to us, hey, that's fine and dandy. We appreciate you guys giving us some of your time. If you want to join the conversation, you can hit us up on Twitter at Total Spotfest or Hive Social at Total Spotfest. Drop a comment down below on YouTube, or I guess on Spotify. I'm not super familiar with Spotify's platform, to be honest with you. I don't really stream music. I'm still one of those, I download stuff and listen to it old school way. So
the Napster in you.
It got in deep, you know. But no, please give us a comment down below, like, subscribe, share, tell your friends. Like we always say, it does help us out quite a bit. Jamie, how are you doing? You getting ready for Christmas? You guys did you get that couch moved and the tree put up and everything?
Show did. That was a nice little adventure. Everything's ready. Now of course we are in wrapping and buying and all that good stuff. Even though every year we tell ourselves we're not gonna wait till the last second, and here we are.
It's inevitable.
The last second.
It's ironic because it's like I remember, like, you know, around Halloween, a little before Halloween, there's my dad and my stepmom are, hey, we need Christmas lists. We want to get it done early. And like, okay, cool. So I get him a list, send it. I do like the Amazon list link, right? And so I'll make an email. I'll list out a couple things. I'll paste the link for the Amazon list because that's nice and easy, right? Send that off, and then I'll wait for them to send me, and I'll keep waiting, and I'm waiting more. And I'm like, you guys wanted this, and it's like, where is yours? You know? So then my dad sends me a thing, 4 items on it. I'm like, all right, Dad, you got to ask for more stuff. Well, I don't need anything. Like, don't be like that. You know, you want something, don't you? So it's always good fun, but hey, we have a Christmas gift potentially here. We're still not 100% sure, but we were going over the card for Glory Pro. Some good looking stuff on that. Nick Aldis is going to be there, which we haven't seen live.
Nope.
It was not a full bussy, but Ali Ketch is supposed to be there, and some other really good matches. So if we do go, we'll definitely let you guys know. Kind of give you a little recap of the show. I know that it's Saturday. So this Saturday is CSW's next show. Like I said, we're not going to be able to make it, but it is. One match I'm interested to see is the Premier and Hallett's cage match.
Yeah, we've only seen that match like 20 times, so
not in a cage.
One more in a cage.
In a cage. So, of course, with the special guest referee of Mr. Bite Your Ear Off, Ace Steel. I'm interested.
Boom, 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 boom.
But other than that, I mean, we were talking not really a lot going on around the horn too much. I mean, there's some William Regal stuff we'll talk about later. Oh, did you see that? What's his face? Eric Young's dead. Yeah, yeah. Eric Young's going back to WWE, so Impact killed him. Exact same thing they did for the bunny when she left for AEW. He's like, all right, we're just gonna kill you off then. Okay.
Did he drink? Did he drink a spiked monster?
Did not drink a spike monster. That would be that would be kind of interesting. But now there's a bunch of. Okay, I want to get your take on this because we knew part and parcel some of this was going to happen, right? Triple H is in charge. He's bringing the band back, right? He's going to get his people, and he did. Went out, Johnny Gargano, Candice LeRae, Dexter Loomis, pulling in, so on, so forth, all this stuff here. Now, Eric Young's going back in. Their most recent reveal or return or whatever you want to call it, Tegan Knox appeared on SmackDown to support.
Didn't even look like Tegan Knox either when I saw him.
Didn't look like her, and got this is I love Tegan Knox to death. Got zero reaction from the crowd.
I watched it.
It was disheartening, right?
Yeah, like we love Tegan. Like I'm like, oh, it's Tegan. Like even I was like, just sitting there watching. Like, oh, it's Tegan Knox. Yeah. Like, not like, oh, it's Tegan Knox. Oh my gosh, because she didn't have that big a fanfare when she was in NXT either. Like, she's a great wrestler, but personality-wise, she doesn't have personality. Like, you have her partnered with somebody that's got personality, so that's good.
That is good. And, the obvious choice is to bring her in the feud that makes the most sense, right? But you've got, the whole Damage Control, which that one was a swing and a hit for sure, that they're all locked up otherwise. So, I mean, it felt like just kind of an odd pairing, and then it's just sort of like and it's like, I don't know. It's like, I'm happy that, they're getting a chance to, right the wrong of why, they got released for bad reasons, right? Vince and Johnny, Ace and all that good stuff, right? So I'm happy for them to get that opportunity, but I would like to see more than just kind of bring it back for pop value for Triple H to go into just madness, right?
Yeah.
So, we'll see what happens. Well, every week we don't spend a lot of time talking about WWE, but we do occasionally. But every week we do like to spend some time really diving in because we love independent wrestling. So
we do.
With that being said, Jamie, we like to tell the people every week about somebody that maybe they've heard of, maybe they haven't. Do you have a person prepared for this week's Independent Wrestler Spotlight?
I do. I really do.
Let's do it.
All right. This one, this person has appeared on Dark multiple times. They are based out of Atlanta. They are the Starfire, the Starboy, Mr. Ashton Starr.
Good choice.
Like he's had some great bouts with one of our friends, Trevor Aon. Excellent wrestler. Honestly, he looks a lot like Apollo
Cruz.
Yeah.
Yeah. He does. It could be distant cousins, though they're not, to my knowledge. But yeah.
Or not Apollo Cruz. Creed. Austin Creed. I can't think of his name.
Yes. Xavier Woods.
Xavier Woods. Like, they look like they're brothers.
Okay, yeah.
Like, legit. No, he's been all over. AEW's GCW, NWA, First Wrestling, Uncharted, Black Wrestlers Matter. Like, dude's been everywhere and puts on an absolute show every freaking time he's out there. Ladies and gentlemen, do yourself a favor, give him a Google. He's worth a Google. He's on the YouTubes. Ashton Starr's a stud. Like, period.
Go, most definitely. Definitely go look up Ashton Starr. Go see if you'll be able to see him for sure on a pay-per-view, because he does quite a bit of GCW and others as well. But definitely, if he's going to be in a promotion near you, go check him out. I definitely want to see him. Effie actually has he's good friends with Effie, and he's been on a lot of Effie's like Monday Not Raw shows and everything. So he definitely likes to showcase the people he's worked with and the people he's friends of, and people, once again, much like this, that you maybe have not heard of. So fantastic choice.
Yeah, and you can follow him on the Twitters at Ashton is a Star. He also happens to have Instagram and a YouTube. Both of them are Ashton Starr.
There you go. Links down below, of course.
2 R's on the star.
Right. Links down below, of course, for everything. So give him a follow. All right.
Ethan, thank you.
Well, we've been doing past couple months some fun things, right? Jamie took us down horror movie alley, which is a lot of fun, and the back corner of the video store.
The other back corner, pervs.
No, not the one behind the curtain. Nobody, half the people listening have no idea what that means. Okay.
Yeah. The other half, exactly what we're talking
that's
about.
all the horror was over in the back corner, because they kept the family stuff up front and the cartoons. Video games were over on one side, left or right, depending on where the counter was, right? And then you had, the different genres, and the further back you went, the more, adult you got. There was the very adult section, but then that back corner was always the horror, right? They always put so it wasn't like offensive to the soccer moms driving by. Oh, man. Well, I feel old. But we did that in October, November, what we were thankful for. So we're trying to come up with something. And I was thinking something Christmassy, but Jamie had a good idea of what we can do, since it is December.
I do have a great idea. Would you like for me to share?
Well, that's what I said. You had a great idea. I'd like for you to kind of relay people what we're going to do.
Yeah, so we decided, last year we did like a year-end review of like all of our favorite stuff, but we wanted to spend more time on the things that we like. So starting now in the officially second episode in December, we are going to go over some of our favorite things that have happened this year. So this week is going to be our favorite matches. One week we're going to have like our favorite tag teams of the year, our favorite male wrestler of the year, and we'll end it with the favorite female wrestler of the year. But yeah, so then we were able to like get into more depth about it instead of saying, "Oh yeah, that was a great match." Where I feel like this is a good one for us to do. So like I said, we're gonna start off with our match of the year.
Spread it out.
Our match of the year. And JJ, why don't you start us off with your match of the year?
My match of the year, there's several I could put on there, because there's a lot of really good bangers. AEW had a lot of bangers. There's some very good matches from Impact, especially at the early part of the year. Some ridiculously good matches from Impact. New Japan has some total bangers. AAA has some good stuff going on. There's even some good matches in WWE. I'm not gonna lie. There was some bangers that happened in WWE this year, But
Hell in a Cell, Cody Rhodes.
The Cody Rhodes Hell in a Cell was great. It was so good. And Roman Reigns had some very good matches as well. Right? As much as I hate to even say those words.
And not some not so good ones.
Like a lot of not so good. But still, none of those is what I'm going to put out there, right? Yeah. My match of the year. And for a minute, I was going to keep it local for what it would be. But I'm not going to, because my match of the year, I've been preaching about this match since it happened. And WrestleMania weekend, Ring of Honor, Supercard of Honor, Briscoe's FTR. The 2 out of 3 falls match they had was just as good, if not maybe even a smidge better. But this first one was on a weekend full of wrestling. And WrestleMania aside, there was just straight fire all over the place. GCW had fire shows, Revolver, Impact, Ring of Honor. Everybody had all these great stuff going on left and right. Masha Slamovich fought a fucking bear, for God's sake.
Max the
Impale bear. But no. Match that I didn't know was going to be this goddamn good and really set the FTR on the trajectory to dominate tag teamdom for this year was that first match. There was a 30-minute just total banger between the Briscoes, FTR. It was everything you wanted in a match. It was high five, flippy spinny, catch as catch can, so many close falls, moves, finisher stealing, just, they pulled out weapons, they got rid of them, there was back, everything. That match had it all, and by far my favorite match of the year.
Surprised that you said this match at all.
It
is definitely a top 5 match for me as well. Excellent. I did put the 2 out of 3 falls one just a slightly higher personally.
It's so hard to kind of the 101A really, if you think about it.
I mean, and a match so nice you gotta run it back twice. Let's run it back a third time. We'll get to that later. I like it. I love that. Mine was more of a moment.
Okay.
And it was because it was my match of the year because we were there and we celebrated this moment together, as a community, as a family. And it just still is one of the greatest wrestling moments of my life. I was there April 29th, 2022. The day before my daughter got a concussion from a 69-hour fastball to her helmet.
Wow. Took a turn there, Jamie.
Yeah. Power goes out right before the main event. The crowd lights the match with their cell phones. We get our first ever Journey Pro champion between Christian Rose and my favorite non-lion tamer doing wrestler, Jeremy Wyatt. In an absolute banger, classic moment. It probably wasn't the greatest match ever, and I don't even care. But it was the greatest moment I've ever lived through. Like, this is stuff that storybooks, story tales are written about. Like,
oh yeah,
fables, everything. Like, it was one of those moments where, my God, like we were there hugging people that we've never even talked to, high-fiving people, and like, it was such a seminal moment for that place, and unfortunately things have changed since then. But yeah. God, it was such a great moment.
The night the lights went out at Agnes. Oh. Seminal moment is the proper terminology. You nailed it. It was a moment of the year for sure. And the match, I watched it back a few times on Twitch and YouTube. Match is solid as hell too. I mean, it was actually a really good match.
Jeremy Wyatt doing a bad match. Ha! That's laughable.
You're right. Oh man. See, I for a second there I was gonna put it in there, but I couldn't get past the Briscoes and all that. But that moment by far, one of the best moments ever.
This one was up there, and the Kineska versus Moxley match was really high for me too. That just happened to be on a random Dynamite.
That's a good
absolute fucking banger.
One that I wanted to, it's like it's almost one of those you feel bad talking about it being as good as it was, but it was in 2022 was MJF versus CM Punk at Revolution, the dog collar match.
Oh yeah, that was a great match.
That match is so good. CM Punk's who we thought he was. Excuse me. He's who I thought he was all along. But my God, before his downfall, he put on a couple really good matches. And that match, coming out to the fucking AFI in his old Ring of Honor gear and everything, that was good. That was really good.
It was great. Like that one was awesome. You know, Omega Danielson was in the beginning of the year. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. Never
No,
mind.
that was last year. You're
That
thinking
was
of
last year.
yeah. You're thinking of that was the first Grand Slam.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Omega was hurt
God.
for most of the year, so it's weird that we don't have
and
Omega in the conversation.
the conversation, right? Yeah.
Right. Hanger had a couple
I
good
mean,
ones. Go for it.
Will Ospreay, Okada, Wrestle Kingdom.
Well, Osprey Nick Wayne at GCW LA.
Yeah. Is that the one where he almost killed him? Is that the one where Ospreay almost killed? Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Was that
Like,
or
that
was that in New York City? No, that was in
I don't know,
that
but
was
he
in
damn
LA.
near killed him. I do remember seeing that. Like,
It
oh
was,
my god.
Well, it's fucking Will
And then
Ospreay going up against
forearm shiver in the back of his neck. I'm like, Jesus Christ, Will
It's
Ospreay.
Will Ospreay going up from against Will Ospreay, but 10 years younger. I mean, it was unbelievable.
I know.
Oh man, you know,
goes to Christmas future. goes to Christmas past,
right?
Or present.
I mean, and you can put in there pretty much anything that Ray Phoenix was in this past year, as always. You know, boilerplate stuff for that.
I mean, except for when he dislocated his elbow.
Cool. I really liked. You know, we talked about EY, but the Eric Young, Josh Alexander at Slammiversary with like all the tributes to the history of TNA and Impact Wrestling, plus the match was just fucking brutal and fantastic. All in all, I love that match too.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, you guys let us know, what were your matches of the year? Give us a comment. Hit us up on Twitter. Let us know what was a match or two that really got you going this year. All right, so we'll continue stretching out this year-end talk next week. But there was an episode of Dynamite last night. Shall we dive into it?
Sure as shit was.
Let's go.
This was a great show.
Yes, sir.
And
yes, sir.
It's set up for Winter is Coming in some aspects, but in other aspects it definitely didn't. It was its own standalone thing, and I really appreciate it because they did also a little bit of Ring of Honor setup, because starting after this, there's going to be less Ring of Honor on AEW TV, which makes me 100% believe we are going to be hearing a Ring of Honor deal on Saturday.
Yeah. Well, did you hear or read? I read it. I didn't watch it because I was working, but I did read about yesterday during the day. Tony had a press junket, and we was going over a lot of stuff, like sharing a lot more information than I would think he would have shared, sort of thing, right? And one of them was about that. He said that for sure he's going to have more information about Ring of Honor TV deal after Final Battle. Now, I don't know if that means like immediately after Final Battle, or like
it'd make a lot of sense to announce it right then and there.
Right, either do it at the end of the broadcast, at worst at the press junket afterwards, but more than likely
see us on HBO Max.
Exactly. We know it's going to be that. Just say it. But anyway. We'll talk more about that later. But I didn't know if you saw that or if you actually read his interview at all.
Mm-hmm. No, I read a little bit about it because he talked about William Regal and all of that.
Talked about a few other things too, and then
yeah. But this show, top to bottom, whew. And honestly, I kind of want to start with the most polarizing thing for me, the thing that got me just jumping. And that was the very first match of the night. Well, it was right after the very first match of the night, but the very first match of the night was the Dynamite Diamond Ring Battle Royal.
Although it's not for the Diamond Ring, it's for the opportunity to challenge for the Diamond Ring.
Yes. Which before is just automatically
sure.
Yeah, why are you changing it?
Okay.
It was a lot of fun. Like, I'm starting to become like the biggest Dalton Castle fan of all time. The more I see him.
Oh my god.
Like, It's ridiculous. Like, I watched him on Dark, and I'm like, oh my god, like, I need more of him in my life. Jungle Boy Jack Perry looked fine. Ricky Starks ends up winning it. Ethan Page had some kind of control over Matt Hardy, and I'm
Well,
like, I
the
don't
firm
get that.
has Matt Hardy's contract. Uh, Sometimes when you have this many factions, it gets a little convoluted, and this is 1,000% the case. But the firm controls Matt Hardy's contract because of something. I don't know what the fuck it was. So he's their henchman or whatever, but he doesn't want to be. And he's slowly diving into broken Matt Hardy character.
Yeah. He's breaking, ladies and gentlemen.
Which I'm all for.
Yeah. Ethan Page looked excellent in this. Ricky Starks looks phenomenal. But right after the match is when the fireworks happened.
Oh, so good. So much good stuff to say. Go.
Yeah, so MJF comes down to the ring and cuts what I thought instantly was, oh, this is the promo of the night. Like, holy shit. Mm-hmm. Like, holy shit. He basically tells Ricky Starks he's completely ripped off the Rock, so he's gonna start calling him the Pebble. He's Dollar. What do you call
Dollar Store Dwayne?
Dwayne, yeah, Dollar Store Dwayne. I'm like, oh my god, like you're absolute drizzling.
None of that.
Shits.
I had never really thought about any of that and Ricky Starks until he said it, and then that's all I could think of. I was like, he's got the shirt and has his glasses. Is it? Holy shit!
He's budget Rock for a long time.
I never saw it. I never yeah, whatever. You know, no. It's like, sorry, Jamie. It took MJF to get it out of me.
Yeah, and then he's like, you can go back to YouTube and start wrestling for NWA. I'm like, oh my god,
for Billy Corgan's NWA. He even said, I was like,
Corgan's.
Ooh.
Yeah. Just digging it in.
I like that.
And at that point, I'm like, oh my god, like he absolutely just obliterated him.
No,
the Ricky Starks got the mic. Do you want to talk about that? Like,
no, you want to keep going. Keep going, man. I'll chime in here in a second.
So, Ricky was just spitting fire. Instantly calls MJF a wannabe Roddy Piper, and made a plethora of spray tan jokes, which I think is 100% on point. He says that he's cheap, like he's got cheap shoes, cheap suits, like he's just cheap and all this stuff, and no one can rely on him. He doesn't understand what that belt means. It has responsibility, and he's never had responsibility a day in his life. And he's like, hey, you know what? I'm going to do you a favor. I'm going to take that responsibility away from you. I'm like, ooh, this. And I want Ricky Starks to have this belt, but not yet.
I mean, yes. So we have said before, Ricky's got the flashes, right? Of the gift of gab and all this. And he has the athletic ability. We felt part of it's a little this and that. We had, some of the posing, some of the stuff at times was like, okay, I don't really know where we're going with this. But honest to God, after last night, the comparisons to The Rock, I feel, are more valid. He's over for one, which helps all this. Yes. He is fantastic. And has he cut the same part of the same promo before about, picking up by your bootstraps and, going from nothing to something? Yes, he has. But it's still impactful, especially considering. And I didn't realize that this is the feud that I really wanted, right? You think MJF's going to have Danielson, right? MJF, Hangman, MJF, Omega eventually, right? But it's like, no, for longevity of the company, among other things, this is the better move. MJF Ricky, do it now. Right?
Do it.
Do it now. Thank you. You're welcome. I was hoping to God you would do that. But no. I am all for this. At one point, I was like, yeah, whatever, Ricky and MJF. I can't get behind it. I don't know. In a matter of like a 12-minute promo between the two of them, I'm like, nope, I'm in now. I get it. I get it.
All right. He's shown, like you said, he had the flashes. I think regardless of what happens here,
Sure.
he needs to stay in the main event level and not go back, get pushed down to mid card. Like his future's too bright because he does have the look, he does have the ability, he does have this the gift of gab. Like this guy is a total package, and honestly, he's more of a pillar than Darby Allin ever will be. I'm like over the whole pillar thing.
Yeah.
And Sammy. We're gonna get into that. But like,
good.
Whew, like he, I'm speechless about how good this promo really was.
And I think about it more. The promo was masterpiece. If you haven't watched it, go to YouTube, go to Twitter. Please go find it. JB commented and retweeted on it on our Twitter, so it's easy to find. But that being said, here's the way I look at this. Everybody knows our stance on MJF, right? Generational talent, sure. We'll put him up there. Foundational piece of your company, yep. Young, talented, can talk, looks good. He checks all boxes, right? Ricky does too, though. He can wrestle. We know he can wrestle, right? He's had a couple bad injuries, which, thankfully haven't given him any long-term issues as of yet, but he's had some gaps there, but he can wrestle. He can talk. He can really talk. He's got a great look to him. He's like Jade Cargill.
A real finisher. Even though
he does the spear a little bit too much for me, but still,
it's not a finisher.
It's not. He sometimes uses it for his finisher.
It's a secondary move. The Rochambeau is his number one, and that's
Rochambeau is a good move. But he's like Jade Cargill in that, but a better wrestler. But he's like Jade Cargill in that. Yes, I can see this guy on the side of the bus and on your poster, right? He's marketable, and there's weight behind it because he took the long way to get here. He got the crowd on his side, right? He's super over, not just because last night he lives in Austin, Texas. There's a little bit of that. But everywhere he goes, he's super over because people generally like him. So do you think this is going to be one of those foundational kind of like long-term, pairings like The Rock and Stone Cold sort of thing?
Yes. I think this is the start of a beautiful feud that will be easily be able to turn the switch on, turn the switch off whenever you want, because it's always there.
Interweave it over the next 5-6 years.
Decade, whatever. Like The Rock and Stone Cold.
Yep.
Like Hogan and Macho Man, Hogan and Ric Flair, Ric Flair and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat,
Flair and Sting,
John Cena and Undertaker, and Taker, Shawn Michaels, and I can keep going.
Sure. Okay. I'm with you there, man. I'm all for this.
So after this, you had Samoa Joe versus Darby Allin.
I love how brutal Samoa Joe was. Let me say that.
I did too. That was a spotlight because guess what? Surprise, surprise, ladies and gentlemen. It was a typical Darby Allin match. 95% this time instead of the usual 95% of him just getting the shit kicked out of him. He had 5% of offense. It was like, I'm over his style. I know
what style.
Kids love him. My entire moment of the night, my 100% moment of the night was when freaking Darby Allin's gonna go for his patented suicide dive where he runs full speed and Joe just doing the Joe thing, just calmly just walking off, just like all cocky, and he just goes flying by. I'm like, thank you, Joe. Thank you. I just I can't get behind Darby
I
at
mean, he
all.
doesn't have a
So
style. He doesn't. He just gets the shit kicked out of him. Here's the part that the emo thing, cool, whatever, right? But the kids do love him. He's got the skateboarding. You know, he's the it is a more modern day take on the Crow Sting, just not with any talent behind it, or not with any real, because then then the bell sounds, and it's like I'm just gonna get mutilated in the best way possible, and then miraculously there's gonna be a victory, right? It's if you would have done this to Rey Mysterio, where Mysterio just got the shit beat out of him, and then he pulls move 619 win, right?
mm-hmm.
Mysterio wouldn't be the legend that he is. He didn't do that. He had actual matches, right? There was substance to it. There's no substance to his fucking style.
Yeah, like Mysterio versus Chris Jericho at Halloween Havoc for the title versus mass match.
Yep.
And Mysterio won the title. Like, dude, trust me. Like, he wasn't getting the shit kicked out of him. Like, I was full on hardcore Jerichoholic at that time. Like, it was definitely 50-50. Like, he had to do that stuff, like we had the thing with Kevin Nash, whatever. Okay, we're not talking about that. But
Situational.
Here's my question. With what looks to be the meteoric rise of Ricky Starks and what seems to be Britt Baker's legacy, who are the real true pillars now? Like, they branded Sammy, Darby, MJF, and Jungle Boy as the four pillars of the future. I disagree with that list completely now.
I do too, and you and I was first on board with agreeing with that. When that was, because we said it actually before they said it, you know. But I'm with you. I disagree with that list completely. I think MJF for sure, Britt Baker, absolutely. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I say beyond that, I don't really know. I mean, I would put Ricky Starks up there, but let's see where they go with this, right? You know. Mm-hmm. I don't think Darby deserves that. Darby's more of a sideshow. And that's not necessarily in a bad way. You can still utilize that for your company. He can still be a thing, but he's not a pillar of this company. Not by any stretch of the imagination. Sammy's got a focus issue, right? You know? So no, I don't think he's I don't think he's a pillar himself either, right? Like when he won the TNT title, he was on top of the fucking world wrestling wise, right? You know? And in a matter of a month, he lost all that heat and got all the wrong heat. Everybody just turned on him. Because whether that's his choice, the directions that were taken by, him and Tony and other creative, or I don't know whatever, turned on a dime. I'm not putting Wardlow in there yet. I think Wardlow and Jade Cargill, while marketable people and, wrestlers, I wouldn't consider them a pillar of your company as of yet. They could be. Wardlow's got skill if he's allowed to do some of that. Still can't talk for shit. Jade Cargill's got the looks. Needs to wrestle. Mm-hmm. Other than that, I don't really know. Maybe the Acclaimed I would put closest to that as well. But I wouldn't really put anybody behind, to answer your question, and then you go. Mm-hmm. MJF and Baker are the only definitive pillars, I would say right now.
I think currently there are 3 pillars, and the 4th is up for grabs.
Okay.
Definitely believe, MJF for sure. That's obvious. Sure. And Britt Baker. Like, those 2 are obvious without a shadow of doubt. And you kind of hit on my 3rd at the very end, and that's the Acclaimed. I put them as a pillar right now because they are the pillar of the tag team division. Exactly. Like, you have a pillar of the men's division, women's division, and you have a pillar of the tag team division, and the Acclaimed have definitely taken that brass ring and just scissored the shit out of it. Like, they are so over it hurts. They are so beyond over. Like hell, FTR came out to a huge pop tonight, and then the Acclaim came out to an even larger pop than FTR, which is
Crazy.
insane
Yeah.
because the top guys are the top guys, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And to your point, like I think the fourth is up for grabs, and I agree. You know, for the most part, like I don't know what they're doing with Jack Perry with Jungle Boy. Like he came on hot, then he kind of cooled off, and he's starting to be right around there again. So he's got a shot.
Yeah.
Still can't talk. I definitely like the idea of Jade Cargill right there as well, because she can talk. She is 100% marketable. She just can't wrestle. Which the way they used her tonight was perfect. The way they should have been using her for months, but whatever. She shouldn't have a title.
But
I'm not gonna
yeah,
go there.
if she's gonna have a 43-0 and have a title on her shoulder, she needs to put something better behind that on tape. That's all I'm saying.
See Bill Goldberg.
I didn't want to go down that path. Sorry,
But
I didn't mean to
I'm
interrupt
just
you.
saying. I'm like that. That's Bill Goldberg.
Yeah, 100%.
But then, like you have Jade Cargill, you have Jack Perry, and then like there's some other outliers that have been making strides. You know, like you have some of these younger kids, I'm going to say kids, but you know that are getting over with the crowd. Like Ethan Page is starting to get over. I don't know if he's a pillar though, to be honest with you.
I
But
wouldn't. As much as
I
love him,
wouldn't
don't think
put
he's a
him.
pillar
I wouldn't
there.
put him there. I mean, they got some other younger talent that could fill that. You know,
I mean, do you think that Ricky Starks is the one to fill that last spot though?
at this point, yes, it's either him or Jade. You know, and they
Mhm.
might go to a fifth pillar. You know, that's fine because, I mean, Jade is exquisite, and her she can talk. She just like she needs to get better in the ring, and I get it. It's that's gonna take time. Where Ricky's already ready. Like that's the thing that puts him in front of Jade. Um, he's got everything. He's a 5-tool player. If you're a baseball fan, 5-tool player.
I think he's used that before, hasn't he?
I don't know, but you know,
He
somebody
should.
marketing.
Yeah, Wardlow, yay nay.
You know, I sorry.
Are you with me that it's a possibility, or are you just going nah?
Sorry, Heather. I'm not behind War Daddy as a pillar.
Okay.
I like War Daddy. He's too gimmicky for me. But then again, the greatest gimmick of all time is definitely one of the pillars of WWE. So I would love to be wrong, but I don't think I will be.
We shall definitely see. You know, Darby is not in that conversation. I don't think at all. But he's still, like I said, he doesn't have to be to still be a valuable part to the product. But that being said, I just can't stand it. You know, it's like every time there's a Darby Allin match, I'm glad they're not having him and Sting attached to the hip anymore, right?
Oh, thank God, yeah.
But come on, we know he can put on. He's put on some good matches. He had a match against MJF. What was that? Was that Full Gear from 2 years ago? I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what it was.
It was a 50-50 match. He actually had a 50-50 match with
And
him,
it was great.
which I think was probably called by MJF, but whatever.
Sure, right? Some of the cinematic stuff that he's done, those have been fun. That's cool, right?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I know
Very
you're
artsy.
creative and you're artsy. Got it. Cool, right? Do something more than just getting the shit kicked out of you because we don't care. We know you're into extreme, all this stuff. I want to see wrestling though. I don't want to see you just see, you know, oh look at this, look at these mad bumps he's taking. You know, like ask Jeff Hardy. He's probably in prison, but ask him how he's walking these days because that's where your future is going. That was mean. I'm sorry, Jeff. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think he just got rehab again. So,
God,
his return could be.
please
imminent,
get better.
So,
Come on.
so I'll just run through some of this other stuff. Really good match between Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta versus Daniel Garcia and Jake Hager. It was very fun, very good. The Blackpool Combat Club is going to live on, which is great. And then they had a William Regal thing that was taped earlier, basically saying goodbye.
Yeah, because William Regal,
guys.
for those of you who don't know, part of the call yesterday, and I found this interesting. Tony Khan basically is the one who broke the news that William Regal's going back to WWE officially.
Yeah, because he wants to be there with his son. Yeah,
which is admirable, and I'm glad. I appreciate the forthrightness for that. So they wrote him off in a very decent way. That he did what he did because he knew that the 3 senior members of the BCC don't need him. Give him one final lesson. Always watch your back. And they'll be there for Wheeler Yuta. And Moxley definitely assumed that mantle of leadership role for the group. Whether that group includes Danielson in the future, don't know. But if it doesn't, it's just these 3, I'm good with that.
Yep. After this, we had an excellent promo from the House of Black.
It's never enough, you know. It's like you just get like these little bits. It's never enough. Not for me, at least.
Why everybody is gone? Like while they were gone, it has gotten corrupt. People point fingers at each other and another thing. And so, what's the crime? Treason. Buddy Matthew, what's the verdict? War. Burger King declares that the sentence is extermination.
On a war path. I
love it. Yes.
Second open challenge for next week they laid out there. And we don't know, that one hasn't been answered. Moxley laid out an open challenge as well earlier for Friday, but they open challenge for winner is coming against somebody. It doesn't matter. They're going to murder him. It's going to be great.
Yes, it is. And then Moxley's gets announced, I think, right after the Jamie Hayter interview, which I really enjoyed the Jamie Hayter interview.
Yeah, good to have her by herself, completely by herself too.
Yeah,
good.
She's a champ. And she said she's going to be a defending champ, so we're going to see her on TV a lot, which is great. Because, you know, the guys like themselves some Jamie. But then she's watching Hikaru Shida and the Bunny on Rampage, which actually should be a really good match. But she'll probably end up facing Shida at Winter's Coming. That's basically the end of it.
More than likely. Who knows what the future holds? Maybe Ruby Soho. Hey, Ruby.
You know, I really want to see Ruby get that TBS championship. I'm sorry.
Do you like that idea what I was putting out there about that? That she's the one to take it off of?
I'll back you on that.
Okay, all right.
I don't know if she's the one. But she should be up there. So that's a nice little tie into the TBS championship match. So you had the baddies of Jade Cargill, Layla Gray, and Red Velvet going against Sky Blue, Kiera Hogan, former baddie, and the coach, Madison Rayne. Fun match. Saw both Kiera Hogan and Jade Cargill out of a 10-minute match for 45 to 75 seconds. Actually in the ring.
Yeah. And it was a lot of Sky Blue. Sky Blue's getting a lot more airtime in general, which I'm all for.
I support. Yeah.
I support that.
She's good.
It was a good amount of Red Velvet as her first match officially back. So interesting, you know, considering that her and Jade Cargill, Jade's very beginning of her career, they had so much heat on each other because of a botch. Or there's
true.
Something. But anyway, I'm with you there.
So right after this, though, rumor mill is swirling. Already swirling. Saraya is back with Tony, and then Britt shows up and says, hey, in January 11th show, why don't you could come and watch me, you know, rule the ring, or you can come wrestle. She's like, oh, I'd wrestle you one more time. I was like, oh, well, hold on. It's a tag team match. It'll be Jamie and I. You find a partner you're choosing. So
she said, find a partner.
Everybody's
if you can.
A buzz.
If you can.
If you can. And everybody is already a buzz that it is going to be none other than Sasha Banks, Mercedes Varnado. Already, people are just.
I mean, in LA, that makes sense. The whole Bow Wow thing with Mercedes Varnado, that makes sense too. But this makes more sense in my opinion.
Yeah, she's too big of a star to be. I hate to say this, to be with the TBS championship.
To be with the secondary title, yes.
What about Naomi? Because Naomi was just recently spotted with Jade Cargill at a Boston Celtics.
I mean, I think either.
Fat too.
I think either. Yeah, I think either. I think either one of them would check the box for Soraya's partner. You know. Yes, Mercedes would be the bigger pop. But that's also a pop that you'd want to more than likely save for a pay-per-view, in my opinion. I'm old school like that. I don't know. I think it could be either one. Do you think it's a foregone conclusion that both will be coming over?
No, not at all. I think Triple H is too smart for that. He knows that Sasha's a draw.
Mm-hmm. Well, their talks have run amok from what I've read.
Again. And she's technically a free agent.
So, but they have been doing talks. It just they've kind of ran, and not amok. They've ran aground. You know, they basically came to a pause, an impasse, whatever. You know, I don't know. I mean,
she doesn't want to wrestle the WWE schedule anymore. She won't if she goes to AEW.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
she's too big of a star now.
Yeah, I mean, not just the Mandalorian. She's going to be on other stuff as well, and more power to her. You know.
Yeah.
The thing is, Trinity. I don't know. That one would surprise me more.
Leave. She won't leave.
I mean,
her husband, her whole family's over there.
Yeah, man. That's why I'm saying that I don't really see that coming. I think it makes sense. From a story-wise perspective, it makes sense. I mean, who could she pull in, right? You would think it'd be somebody that she has a relationship that maybe it doesn't, that either A, is a complete, surprise to Britt and Jamie, or has some sort of history with them. You look on the roster, Toni Storm, sure, right? Ruby Soho, hey Ruby. Yeah, that checks the box, but that doesn't really fit, right? With what you're thinking here. Thunder Rosa return? Maybe, but that's not going to happen. I mean, from what we've heard, is like we have no idea how long she's going to be out, like this injury, Like some people are saying that this might be like a long term thing.
Yeah.
So when you look at it that way, I don't know. I kind of lean towards Mercedes because Who else? Who else, Jamie? Who else fits that bill?
I have three people.
What you got?
Okay. Sasha Banks, Mercedes Fernando, obviously. Thunder Rosa is number 2. I think there's a possibility that it could be Thunder because she has beef with both of them. And then my last one is a Forbidden Door.
You're going across the pond, aren't you?
Reigning, defending IWGP Women's Champion, Kairi Sane.
I mean, there is a history with Kairi and the Saraya, so.
And there's history between Jamie Hayter and Kairi.
Absolutely, and everybody wants to see Kairi and Jamie Hayter. 1,000%.
This guy.
I mean, I want to see Julia and Jamie Hayter, but I also want to see Kairi. And I'm sorry, I'm a Julia fanboy. I know. I don't care. Love Julia.
It's fine. Hell, I'd be cool with Maki Ito. Dude,
right. Julia's worth it, though. I mean, but yes, no. Kairi, yes, that's. When is Forbidden Door, by the way? When is that usually? Is that in the winter or is that in the spring? It's in the springtime, right?
It was in the summer last year.
Was it the summer? Okay, all right. Just wondering.
Well, and the next one's supposed to be over in Japan.
That's what I heard. But
which would be badass.
If it's not, it's no time soon because we're gonna know about it a few months in advance for sure.
And if it happens to be in Chicago again, I want to find a way to go.
Oh, if it's in Chicago, we should definitely go
because they had a fan fest with it. I mean, you couldn't get Okada, but I don't care.
As long as your wife's not scheduled to be in any more weddings, we should be able to make it work.
Yes, you should hopefully be working full time at that point, so it should be fine. All right, so the last match of the night.
Oh, the Moxley. We didn't actually talk about Mox.
Oh yeah, Moxley. Right after this was announced that he is going to face on Rampage Kinesuke Takeshita.
Bring it back. Yes. fully now, not citizen, but fully living in America, indoctrinated by Costco, Konosuke Takeshita. If you're not following Takeshita on Twitter, you're doing yourself a disservice. Watching him discover American things like this is fantastic. He learned how to use an air fryer the other day, and he wrote like 15 tweets on it. It was amazing.
And then like he loves Whataburger. So
who knew?
Him and Mahomes are homeboys already.
Spicy ketchup.
Yeah, I like their spicy ketchup.
I like regular ketchup. Their fancy ketchup's really good, but I'm not a spicy ketchup person. I don't know. It's like,
their fancy ketchup's fine, but yeah, the spicy, because this has got pepper in it. This is the only difference.
It's
like,
not
legit,
super spicy.
Is.
Yeah, I know. It's not like pepper. Spicy. It's not like sriracha. It's spicy. Even.
No.
All right, let's get to it.
Easily, hands down match of the night.
100%.
No qualms. This match fucked on all levels. AEW Tag Team Championship, the Acclaimed going against FTR. Already talked about how the entrances were huge pop for both these guys. Back and forth. There was a little bit of heel shit coming from FTR, but not like overly heelish. Like it was more of, hey, we're just trying to win this match, which is why I love FTR so much, because they can ride that line very nicely. You had a big rig that got broken up. Like you had all sorts of great shit.
You had finisher stealing again, which I know you love and appreciate. The Acclaim doing the double sharpshooters. And
yes. Then the my new favorite non-finisher that the Acclaim do is definitely the Scissor Me Timbers, which is the new was that.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna do the was up, but it's like, oh,
it's a Scissor Me Timbers, and they called it the Scissor Me Timbers. I'm like, oh my god,
I'm in.
South Park love right there. South Park love.
Scissor Me Timbers.
Oh my god, yeah, like dude, like they are just all about it. Honestly, hell of a way this match went, and the way that they won was perfect. It was just it
was a thing.
FTR, tried to get after it, and somehow, some way, the Acclaim were able to get it with a quick win. 1, 2, 3. Acclaim's your champions. Following the match, though, because they have to get pay-per-view buys.
Well, before you get to that, let's just stay on the match for a second.
Okay.
I've already expressed my love for the Briscoes matches from earlier in the year with FTR. And I don't think this is not on that level, but it's not far off. This was, dare I say, their third best match of the year. I mean, it's fresh in my memory, so it's kind of hard to not say that. But I mean,
so you're saying it's a 5-star match?
If I give the other 2 5 stars, I'd give this one 4.5. Is what I'm thinking.
That's fair. Because I don't think it's a 5-star.
I don't think it was a 5-star match. I think it was fantastic though, because I mean, it had ebb and flow. The crowd was hot to trot, right? Like you said. But the match itself had great ebb and flow, right? It started off because and everybody's shine to their own strengths, So you had Dax and Bowens doing a little catch wrestling, and then you had Cash and Bowens kind of like playing off of that. And you got Caster and Cash kind of going strongman back and forth. Then you get into moves, reversals, back and forth, close fall, this stealing, that stealing, big rig, kicked out of, their finisher, kicked out of. It was a very well engineered match, top to bottom. Loved it to death. Don't put it as high as, like I said, the Briscoe matches from earlier in the year, but it was one of my favorite that I've seen from them this year. Honest to God, I thought it was great. Now I know it's fresh in my mind.
Yeah. I would say it's the Acclaim's second best match. I feel like their best match was honestly All Out when they lost. Going against Swerve in Our Glory. That match was exquisite. But this one, dude, like you said, it had everything you wanted. The chest slaps from both Anthony Bowens and Dax. Like, good God, like both of them, pow, 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 pow. It's like, oh my God.
Dax could slap like
so
a motherfucker.
Loud. Well, and Anthony Bowens evidently can too, because both of them were bringing the heat.
Bowens is just constantly working on his craft too. He's getting, oh my God, he is. They are absolutely a pillar. God damn it, absolutely. I'm going back. I'm putting them as a pillar, 100% now.
See,
I've got to.
Welcome to the team.
I was like, they could be. No, they are. They have to be. So after the match, go for it.
After the match, like I said, they got pay-per-view to sell. So here are the Ass Boys out with some Christmas gifts for Dax and Cash. I always want to say Axe and Smash.
I do too. Did you like Demolition as a kid?
Oh, yeah.
I love them. I actually like them more than Legion of Doom.
Oh,
I know. That's crazy talk.
That's where we separate.
That's crazy talk. I know, but I did.
No, I'm an LOD guy through.
But then they were gone, and LOD
like the Philadelphia Flyers. Yeah.
But then they were gone, and LOD was around longer, so that makes up for it. But anyway, sorry, diversion.
So after this, they got a Christmas card from Dem Boys, written in blood. It says "See you Saturday," basically. So you get
Briscoe's FTR
3 for the ROH belts.
But wait. There's more.
And how are they able to do this? I'm curious to see how they're going to do this. It's not a 2 out of 3s match. It's not a ladders match. It's not a tables match. It's not a chairs match. It's not a TLC match. No, it's not a Falls Count Anywhere. No,
Iron Man
it's
match.
Not Last Man
it's
Standing. Not Iron Man. Not Buried Alive. Not Casket. Not First Blood. No. It's a dog collar match, baby.
But it's a tag team. Hold on. How are they going to do a dog collar match for a tag team?
That's what I'm saying. Like, are you just automatically
double dog collar? He pulls out 2 dog collar, calls it a double dog collar match. So is one attached to one and then one attached to the other?
Evidently.
Or are they all 4 attached to each other? Like a big X, just like a...
That would be too weird. Like
that would be a clusterfuck, and somebody would die. Yeah, that would.
100%. Like I'm trying to do this move. What?
Double dog collar.
Double dog collar match. Yes. So talking about that, first off, that was Dynamite, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
excellent show. I feel like we're on the precipice of a new pillar, but. JJ, do you happen to have the card for the upcoming Ring of Honor?
I do. I'm not doing your bit. I'm sorry, but I do have it handy. So yeah,
you really do.
Sure. Sorry, that's your bit. I'm not doing your bit. Just like you shouldn't do my bits. Hey, Ruby. You know. No, I do. I really do. Thank you. It was close. It wasn't complete though. That's my concession.
It was enough. It was enough.
So they kind of just tacked that on there at the end. You're like, wow, But the card, honest to God. Now, the reason that they're doing this is an odd reason. So it's Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central. The reason they're doing this is because there's no college football save for the Army-Navy game, right? Which I always love watching Army-Navy game. There's a college basketball game that Jamie and I are going to be very heavily paying attention to. One of us with more hope than the other, and that other will have a lot more confidence. But no college football besides that. So they're trying to kind of catch some of that audience, I guess. Not 100% sure, but regardless, 4 Eastern, 3 Central, this Saturday, on pay-per-view, Ring of Honor Final Battle, okay? And the card is as such. You're still billed as the main event, which after that announcement, I don't know anymore. But main event, Chris Jericho versus Claudio Castagnoli for the Ring of Honor World title. If Jericho wins, Claudio has to join the Jericho Appreciation Society. I'm so over the JAS. Let's just be done with that. On that note, the ROH Pure Championship, Daniel Garcia defending against Wheeler Yuta. Run it back. That was another fantastic match we had earlier in the year. You've got the ROH Women's Championship, Mercedes Martinez. It was good to see her healthy again, most definitely. Yep. She's defending against the newly turned heel, Athena.
Fallen Goddess is
bad.
I
like the heel Athena. And
same. Big time same.
So that's kind of cool. Low key, out of kind of just snuck in there without us even knowing. But the ROH TV title, Samoa Joe is defending against newly signed. I mean, it's nice when your woman is when your wife is one of the top promoted women in the company. But newly signed Juice Robinson. Rock Hard Club going up against Samoa Joe. So Bullet Club officially in the AEW Pantheon here. I would like to see Tony Storm okay. On-screen relationships, good, bad. Real relationships on screen, excuse me. Good, bad. We've seen them both, right? There's the whole Tame Mello, Sammy thing, which I know everybody cringes at, but that's kind of the point too. But, I would like to see Tony Storm become the first woman to officially join the Bullet Club and kind of go that evil path with her husband. But we'll see what happens with that. But anyway, Juice Robinson now in the fold. You've got Swerve in Our Glory going up against Shane Taylor Enterprises, Shane Taylor and JD Griffin. Mm-hmm. Well, I've seen a little of, but I'm not super familiar. I think they expect us to know more about this feud than we do, to be honest with you. But it is what it is. You have, I believe this is on the buy-in, but you have the ROH six-man tag team championship. So Dalton Castle and the boys are the current champions, and I'm with you. Because the first time you see Dalton Castle, you don't know what you're expecting. Even if you've been prepped, you don't know what you're expecting, because then you see him and his entourage, and oh my, is it different?
Very different.
But then you fall in love with it, and I love it. So Dalton Castle and the boys defending against the Embassy, which is Brian Cage along with Khan, who's now Bishop Khan, and Toa Leona, the Gates of Agony. And, of course, what we just talked about, the ROH Tag Team titles, Briscoes, FTR3, Double Dog Collar.
Double Dog Dare. That's all I can think of is Double Dog Dare.
Double Dog Dare that match to me.
Double Dog Dare you.
Dave Mesker, I Double Dog Dare you to give this under 5.5 stars. Fucker. He'll probably give it 3 stars. 3.5. But no, that's a pretty fucking solid card. So, be that as it may, we've dogged on ROH a little bit, especially because ROH is so intertwined with AEW, which moving forward, according to Tony Khan, is not going to be. I'm happy for that, because that clears some path that also is hopefully going to give some other people chance to, get off the bench with an ROH show. So I've got stuff going on Saturday, but I'm probably going to buy it and watch it on replay, because I definitely want to see that the Briscoes FTR match, if nothing else. But I mean, I want to see Claudio. I want to see Juice. I want to see Juice and Joe. I really
Juice and Joe just sounds exciting. I want some of that.
Well, we'll talk about it next week for sure. You guys let us know if you're excited for Final Battle at all. And yeah, I don't have anything else. You got anything else you want to do?
Nah, man. I think it was a hell of a show.
I agree with you. I think that they're back on the right path. I mean, the past couple weeks, we've been a little dogged on them, right? Mm-hmm. This felt right. This is the perfect mix. It wasn't one of those, everything has to be an all-out banger, right? But it was the perfect mix. Just keep doing this. We'll be back next week. More stuff. We're going to continue our year-end talk. I think next week we're doing tag teams. surprisingly, or maybe not surprisingly, I should say, you're going to hear a lot of names that you heard us talk about earlier in the show. But there's some I'm betting you're not going to be you'll be surprised with. But anywho, come back next week. We'll have more same bad time, same bad channel. Follow us on all the socials. Like I said, we did change up our audio hosting. So if by chance you stumbled across us because, you know, where you usually listen to us went away or anything like that, or we always are looking for feedback too. Like we're trying to, you know, do the best, you know, show we can do and put it out there the easiest way that we can, but we also want to make it easier for you guys to find us and listen to us. So any feedback you have is more than welcome. Always more than welcome. So please let us know. It's like, hey, I'd really like to hear you guys on this platform. Or it's like, hey, we'd prefer that. Or whatever. Just any feedback we'll definitely take. If it's terrible, we will 100% ignore you. And then, well, eventually Jamie will troll you with something masterful. But
that's my specialty.
Do you have anything else you want to add?
I don't think so, man.
All right. Well, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for listening. We appreciate you giving us some of your time. Jamie, take us home, man.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not down Total Spotfest, I got 4 words for you. Starks is a pillar?
All right, guys. We'll see you next week.
Time will tell. Peace.